Now, for more on the meetings there in the free trade zones that he just mentioned, Haiyan Wang, managing partner of the China-India Institute, co-author of many books, Silk Road Rediscovered, Getting China and India Right in the Quest for Global Dominance. So you're a pretty good writer then.
Decent writer.
What do you think about this, all this talk about free trade zones? Is it all going to work out as planned?
I think that it's going to work out steadily as planned.
You hesitated. Why?
Oh, well, I'm hesitated not so much as in terms of being pessimistic, because foreign trade zone, Shanghai Foreign Trade Zone, is set up primarily as a lab, as an experiment for the broader economic reform.
But does it?
And I know that.
Does it work?
Well, in a sense that China's reform has always been crossing the rivers by touching the stones, except that now the river is much more deeper water.
Touching the rivers by
crossing the rivers by touching the stones, except that the river right now is much more deep water. So whatever reforms that's experimented in a free trade zone has to be found that has replications that can be extended out to nationwide, broadly.
I mean, they're expanding it. So now what?
I think that a lot of if you look at what has been experimented in a free trade zone, and we see promising progresses, whether it's on the trade front, in terms of investment, reducing in terms of making business much easier, reducing red tape, in terms of financial reform, I think would be allowing to be more free, allowing foreign exchange to be more convertible. A lot of that is very promising reform.
So let me just help with our viewers. The free trade zone, the definition of a free trade zone is a zone that's free of, well, I should say not free of, but with less regulatory constraints. For example, tariffs. If you and I are trading, we would have no taxes. The exchange rate, the banking, all that stuff. Basically, it's made to make business to be done easier. So that said, who's the biggest winner in this? Is it businesses or is it consumers that ultimately will be the buyers of these goods?
And I think that the winners are all. The winners are not just the consumers, foreign businesses, domestic businesses. I think that the free trade zone in this sense is not just for freer trade, freer investment within the zone itself. It's really designed to be the lab for reforms. So a lot of the financial reforms, for example, will be experimented first in the zone and with the goal of extending it out nationwide. In that sense, the winner is the China's economy overall.
How do we measure success? What do you want to see, and you say, okay, this works for sure, this is great?
I think the success is really measured by the progress in terms of reforms, making China opening up more, and in a sense that opening up to the outside world, pushing reform to go deeper. And if we see, for example, renminbi moving more towards more convertible, and that is progress. If we see domestic Chinese consumer market much more open to foreign businesses, that helps to drive China becoming a more consumption-driven economy, and that's progress. If we see less red tape, we see less governance from the government, changing government functions from much stronger administrative roles to a facilitator's role, and that is progress. So it's all measured in terms of the success of a reform.
And of course, this is sort of the traditional model of I make something and I sell it to you. But now, of course, it's with technology, online, the whole e-commerce bit. Hangzhou, which is an area I'm sure you know well, they're creating this online free trade zone. I don't know what that means. Help us. What does that mean, an online free trade zone?
I think that what that means is that it really benefiting foreign retailers. Now, foreign retailers, whether you set up your own shop.com in China
so it's to help
or
the foreign retailers, not the domestic ones.
Well, I think that the immediate beneficiaries would be the foreign retailers, that Chinese consumers can click online and directly buy foreign imports. Previously, it would be much more prohibitive, and now with the warehouse set up in the zone itself, it allows much faster processing. And of course, it will be still somewhat more expensive, but it gives access to the ordinary Chinese consumers. And that introduces competition into the e-commerce. And that is a very good thing, because foreigners' entry into the competitive field at least would reduce the number of fake products in China.
All right, which is a whole other set of questions. Unfortunately, we're out of time. Haiyan Wang, it's good to see you.
Good to see you, Phil.
Managing partner, China-India Institute, and a co-author of many, many, many books. Have a great week.